right, we're here with
Jay Will
and Jay Ward, and today we have three ladies. We're going to discuss the topics of, how's it feel to be a wife and a mother, from some of the ladies of the crew. So introduce yourself.
I'm Sarah.
I'm all right. Kiana.
Hi, I'm Juicy Joyce, but now formerly Mrs. Ward.
Okay. So, all you guys are married, and so what's the difference between being single with the person that you married and then the person that you married after marriage? What's the difference? Like, how does it feel? Does it feel different or is it the same?
Well, yeah, it's way different because now it's a marriage. So when you're single, well, not single, but when you're just dating, you guys still do like individual things. When it comes to a marriage, everything's like together. So in the sense of like, you got to compromise more. You have to remember you have a spouse, like, and if you have a disagreement or something of the sort, it's not going to sleep at your house. You're sleeping in the same bed with,
forever.
Forever.
And you guys could do that forever.
Yeah, when you're married to the right person, forever it's not like a damper. When it's the right person.
Have you met my husband? Okay.
It's a lot lighter, like when you're like before you get married. I feel like it's really light, and then you get married, and like Sarah's saying, it's like compromise and change, and like it's not just you anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you have to like get into a whole different like mindset, and it's deeper, and it becomes a lot more complicated. But I feel like if you guys are both intentional about doing what you have to do to make it work, then it can be very easy to do it forever.
As long as I work together as a team, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Well, she's newlywed, so I don't know if we can.
It's an adjustment. I'll be honest. Even for my husband, because sometimes he'll be like, "Dang, you ain't going home." Sometimes I'm like, "I wish I could go home," but it's just an adjustment because it's like, it's reality. Like, this is our life, and I'm just so happy.
Can I interject? Can I ask a question to the newlyweds?
About us.
Does it? I know, but I just want to know, and I think they want to know too. Does it feel different? Because I think the only difference, like before as opposed to now, is that you guys are like actually living together. But prior to you guys getting married, you guys were pretty much doing what married people do in a sense. So do you guys feel like it's a lot different, just a little bit different, or not different at all?
It's different.
It's
because
different.
the marriage more serious.
Yeah.
Like you gotta make sure you got all the stuff in line. Make sure things are good with the house. Make sure you can do like the life insurance thing, like everything. It has to be on point because when you dating, you don't think about all that. You don't have to do that because that's not your wife. Now it's like, okay, we gotta have this, and we gotta get ready for a kid, this, and this, and it's more serious.
Good.
You have the right milk. It's not no more. It's like, oh, he's lactose.
Yep.
I gotta have that for him. And it's like you have to think.
The refrigerator changes.
Yes.
I'm glad you
like
realized
it
gotta cook.
Yeah.
Gotta cook.
Time to stop playing.
It changes. But like I said, it's a good change.
Yeah.
I don't mind now sharing like the fridge and the closet and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much what I gather is that y'all thought it was fun and games, and now it just got real. Huh?
Yeah.
That part.
Y'all think it's a joke.
Now, what am I about to say? I'm about to say something. I forgot though.
Okay, while you digest on that, I got a question. Submissiveness or partnership?
There you go.
I don't mind submitting myself to a man that can lead and that can make me still feel like I'm important. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I think a lot of the dilemma is when people feel like they don't have like someone to lead them. When you have the right person leading the house, then it comes natural. It's just like easy. It's like, oh, like, okay, I'm gonna follow you, babe, because you are the head of the household. But it's not always that way. Sometimes there's two people trying to fight for who's gonna be the head of the household. So that's when like the issues happen. But when in my opinion, when the man leads the household, things do kind of fall easier.
Okay, so Paul.
The word submissive, because a lot of I think a lot of women think that's like
It's
you
negative.
got to be a slave in the negative. It's not negative
No.
at all, because they think of submissive. You know, in the Bible it says woman be submissive, but they don't keep reading.
Yeah.
And it also says the man love the wife like the God loves the church.
Yeah.
And he'll do anything for the church. He'll protect the church. All that other stuff. He'll do everything he needs to do.
See, I wish you would have
Right.
waited on that till they all answered. And then bam!
But look though, what does that mean to y'all though? Like you said yours,
Change the whole
right?
notion of it.
Because to me, I told her before we got married, I said, listen, this how it's going. I mean, this how it should be, because there's things in life that it should be and things that shouldn't be. When it shouldn't be, you trying to make it be, it's an imbalance. When it's an imbalance, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So if God says it, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And there's no other justification. So I was like, listen, I'm a man of the house, you the woman of the house. I'm a king, you a queen. So when I can't be at that level, I need you to step up. But when I'm making a decision, because I try to make good decisions for both of us, for the family. If you got a man with good stewardship, he's gonna make the best decisions for his family. Now, if you got a man that doesn't make good decisions, then that's a problem. And he's not like a man to lead like that. But I think the word submissive is thrown out of text because people on the media and stuff say it to be negative, and it's not.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a woman catering to her man, but the man always also has to appreciate and also do what he needs to do for the woman.
To where
So-
the woman wants to
Exactly, like you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, I want to hear what you have
If
to
the
say.
man,
Let me see.
if there's good stewardship there,
Uh-huh.
and I feel like with being submissive, that has to come with some type of balance. You know what I'm saying? It can't be like extreme. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
he laying back, you in the kitchen doing everything, cooking for him and picking his clothes and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Because for me as a woman, I want to be submissive. I want a man to lead. You know, I don't want to play that role. But I feel like, in a sense, and you guys might shoot me for this, I feel like it sometimes has to be earned in some situations, because not every
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
Got shot.
like deserves like for a woman, you know, to be submissive if he's not doing his part in relation to what you said as far as being a good steward and all of that.
That's why the women need to make sure the man has that. If he doesn't have that, why would you want to?
That was
True.
going to be my thing.
Yeah.
So before you get
Well,
married,
let my wife talk, honey.
did she have something to say? Go ahead. My
Okay,
bad.
go ahead.
Neither.
Okay, good. Go ahead. You want to elaborate?
Neither.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just playing. Both. You need good partnership, and you also need to be submissive, because that's how it's going to be. Like, in order to have a good partnership, is because you also need to know how to submit at times.
Right.
And just like they said, stewardships, having a good stewardship, having a man, but also submitting to a man that you know has that capability. Because I'm just not going to submit to someone that, nah.
Okay, so here's my question. Pre-marriage, when you're dating, dating is for me the tryout.
Okay.
I guess you would say, right? The pre-rehearsal.
Audition.
So the audition. So if you look at a person and you like certain qualities, but you're gonna say, because that's not my husband, I'm not gonna submit, I'm not gonna follow you. What makes you think that the man will be like, okay, I'm gonna put myself in position to make sure I lead you or do the things that I would do to take care of you as my wife? And not for you guys, but just for the audience, because people watch, right? So my thing is this: you have to show what you're capable of before you get into a marriage. So if you're not capable of, if you can't show me that you can be submissive, why would I want something with you? And vice versa. If you're looking for a man to be a leader or be a good steward or whatever it is that you're looking for, if you're not seeing that, then why move forward? Because guess what? When you get married, it's only going to continue to happen.
Yeah.
And now guess what? Because you guys are women of faith and Christians, now we're talking about divorce. We're talking about stepping outside because now you feel like this person's not giving you what you wanted, when you knew that from jump, when you had the opportunity to audition before.
Right.
So I believe that when you first start off in a relationship, you should be dating for the long haul, not dating just to date.
Right.
No,
And now you got a 3-month window where you say, okay, let's double dutch a little bit. I want to see where this is going to go. At the end of 3 months, I'm getting in or I'm getting out.
Yep, if that's where you're at, I will.
If I were, because if you prolong that and y'all just like doing that and y'all say, okay, let's just get married because we've been together, now we got some problems.
And let me piggyback off of that. I do agree with you. Like, that type of stuff has to start before before. You know,
Correct.
like the what's the word? Preliminary.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to find yourself like in a situation where it was one way prior, and then you guys are now married,
And it's
something
different.
totally
You like, I don't
different,
even know.
you know, and you're just like, okay, where did this come from, or who is this person, you know, as opposed to seeing all of that prior, kind of knowing what you're getting yourself into, so that way you can say, like, you can make a decision, you know, like, okay, if this is what you want or this is what you don't want. It's like you kind of knew this before we were gonna, you know, before we took it here, you knew what it was, as opposed to like not knowing at all. You know, you want to be like your true self prior and even when you know, get into marriage.
And I think friendship is a big one. You got to have a friendship between both you guys, because if you don't have friendship, just a relationship, and over time it's probably going to dwindle or this and that. But if you guys keep the friendship, keep building on that, 50 years from now, y'all still be friends.
True. Yeah, that's the best part. Friendship.
Yeah. So are we settled? So I love your answer, both. I believe life is about balance always, and you can't always balance perfectly, but there's times and spaces in which you are more submissive, and then there are certain situations or decisions where we're like, hey, we're going to do this as a team, as a partnership, and this is how we move together. So, you know, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I 100% believe it shouldn't just be one way all the time. Like, whether you're being submissive or not, I feel like the husband should take the wife's, you know, opinion into consideration. Decisions should be made collectively. You know, me submitting to you doesn't mean that like you don't value my opinion, or you don't take my opinion or what I may want in a situation like into consideration. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all about balance at the end of the day.
I got one more question and we can close out. So what if you guys are in a discussion about any decision that you guys are trying to make, right? And you have a difference in opinion versus what he should make, and he goes with his own opinion, and it doesn't work out for the best of the family. Do you jump out and say, I knew you should listen to me, I told you, you never listen? Are you like, you know, I trusted in you, it didn't work out, now let's move in a different way? What's the first instinct?
I think mine would be B, because I would want to fix it. I mean, there's no sense of me telling you I told you so. That's not going to change the obvious. It didn't work out. So let's move, let's, how it should have been in the beginning, work together to fix it. Because a marriage is two. So I think like, we're not, of course you're right, you're not always going to agree on everything, but that's when compromise comes in. So, don't not take my word. And I understand, like, you know, a man, you know, they lead, but also God placed us women for a reason. Like, every relationship needs a woman's touch. Every relationship needs a man's touch. So I think a compromise is where it is. And if it doesn't work out, I'm not going to tell you I told you so, because I also don't want to not uplift you. I want you to know that we're in it together, and I'm going to help you so we can make it work. Whatever the issue happened, whatever it was that didn't happen how it should have been, now what are we going to do to make something else happen? Because there's no sense of backpedaling on what I told you so. Because you can't change what obviously didn't work out.
You know what? I'm going to say one day you're going to be a fine wife.
Hey, 12
Oh man,
years
I
next
forgot.
month.
You already married. Man, dang.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. For me, I think my first thought would be, I told you so. But it's not something that I would share, and especially like in a situation, like say if a decision was made and like it was just, the outcome of it was just really bad, and I know my husband's already down about it or whatever the case, like I don't want to say more to tear him down. But I feel like a conversation would have to be had to say, hey babe, I felt like, you know, I was trying to tell you, I think it's all in the delivery, you know, but I think you got to be transparent in your relationship. So if you see like there's a flaw about your husband as far as like, okay, when we do talk and I give you my opinion, or I tell you maybe you should do this or that, I don't feel like you really take my opinion into consideration. So I feel like that's something that we need to work on collectively, you know, so that in the future, you know, this doesn't happen, because you tend to feel that way if you feel like your opinion is, you know, devalued or it's never heard or whatever the case may be, especially like if it's like an ongoing thing. And it's not always that way, but I feel like in certain situations you're just like, you know, I feel like you just would have to have that conversation, you know, to say, hey, I think maybe we should, you know, we should have approached it this way, or next time, you know, is it something that you can like take my opinion more into consideration just to prevent this, you know, because I believe that as husband and wife, like with a wife, like God, like you see certain things that your husband may not see. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're like a different set of eyes, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So
4 eyes better than 2.
exactly. Yeah.
Serious.
4 eyes.
4 eyes.
What if you got
Unless you got
contacts?
glasses.
Message.
Right? That's already
Contacts.
6 eyes. That's already 6 eyes.
6 eyes.
6 eyes. Didn't I tell you to go with it? You already know me. If my husband made a choice,
I know where this is going.
I already have the remediation plan because of the backfire. That's just me. But I won't blow it in his face because I'm here to let him know, like, this is a lesson learned. Next time, if we have something like this, we're just going to remember what happened last time. Not as his fault, but just know that, listen, like, we're going to have to figure out if this doesn't work out, what's the backup plan. That's it.
Great answers. Great answers. You have anything else, sir?
That's it.
Top 5 players? You want to
No,
hear my
that's it.
top
Wait,
5?
wait.
You want to hear my top 5?
We'll cut it for now.
Ah, that's part 2. He ain't ready for
All
my
right,
top
that's
5.
it for the day for that conversation. So, love God.
Be great.
We
God
out.
is love.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Bye.